Sebia Warikandwa, and I am at Young Africa. I've been a patron for the Young for Real program since 2014. And we've been facilitating dialogues. We've been doing combi dialogues, community dialogues. And in brief, I may just say that we've been involving children in situations that will help them to develop assertiveness and gave them information on their sexual and reproductive health rights. And from the time I started, I have seen a lot of change that has, I've seen a lot of change, and this change is positive in the sense that I've groomed confident young people. For example, I went with Monashe. We attended the CASA, and she was very active. She managed to explain the toolkit that we used. She also managed to make sure that the other youths in the Southern African region were aware of the program, and some of them even showed interest. They showed that they would love to have a similar advocacy program in their countries. And also the exposure, the ICASA also boosted her confidence, if I may say, because when we were doing this program at first, she thought it was meant for Epworth, Epworth youths. But when she realized that this SRA-HRA issue had to do with even other youths in the region, I saw a shift. She was even more serious, and I saw that the levels of advocacy increased. I worked with Monashe, I worked with Melody, I worked with Felix Mapuzuke, and all of them, I'm happy to say that they've been achievers. They've done some things that we are happy and proud of as Young Africa. They've proceeded, and right now Felix is in university, and Monashe is in vocational training, and Melody moved. She is now doing her upper sixth. And also, I realized that the youths in Epworth didn't have information about their SRA-HRA. And because of this program, we managed to reach schools, and peer-to-peer interaction was very productive. It was easy to teach children about their SRA-HRA from children, the peer educators. And I am very happy that the toolkit that the children had, it was very useful because it had all the things, the materials that would make their teaching or their peer education of the SRA-HRA have great impact. Because of this need to disseminate information, the youths we had also took part in street bashes. And youth and music. After they finished their dancing and their enjoyment, there was always a rights platform. And after that, I strongly feel that it had a very positive impact, because you'd have other youths out of Young Africa trying to find the patron so that they would get information, or even trying to find the champions. We call them champions. All that were trained in this program, they are called champions. They would try to find them to get more information. And also, we managed to network with all the other stakeholders to the extent that the referral was easy. And that referral also spilled over to involve other youths around Epworth. And I'm happy to say we got reports even from the police of children coming out and pointing out areas that they were aggrieved in. And also, we also had perpetrators being brought to justice because of this strong referral network that the YPISA model had afforded. And further on, we encouraged health-seeking behavior. And this youth interaction also brought about situations whereby the youths would team up and go to the health centers. And I feel that was a positive, especially in our community, because many people, they believe that if you are not feeling well, wait and see what happens to you, then you decide later on. But because of the empowerment and because of the encouragement from this program, you realize that youths also started frequenting the health services and the health centers. And the use of the Staying Safer series was very useful again, in the sense that we could do reading sessions together. And after the reading sessions, you'd realize that some of the pupils were very curious. They would come and say, please, ma'am, may I have that book? I really want to learn more about gender-based violence. I want to learn more about peer pressure. And because it was there, it was documented, it was very easy to give the information to the children. And you know, when one child gets information, it cascades to the rest of the class. And that was a very positive impact. Then we also advocated for behavior change. I remember at one time we went to the notorious booster. I don't know if you have heard about the booster area in Epworth. And I think that dialogue was documented. We even engaged the flesh peddlers to hear their side of the story, and also to talk to them about this this SRHR issue, and to make them aware of the dangers of their trade, and also advocate for behavioral change. And it is interesting to note that we had that dialogue in broad daylight, and we actually managed to have participants from the trade there, and we managed to talk to them even about safer sex practices and a whole lot of issues that I feel appealed to the youth that were engaged in risky behavior. Here at the school, I noticed some changes in the people that we started, the pupils we started this program with. They got to be more assertive, and they would advocate more, and they became even more conscious of their rights, to the extent that the champions were actually the backbone of the institute, in the sense that they would even take assembly points as rights platforms. They would make interesting presentations. They would do dramas, and they would use all sorts of ways to convey what they had learned. And I really feel that was useful. So I think to conclude, I may just say that the Young for Real program was very important to Epworth learners and the Epworth community, because it was a program that was not closed to the school-going youths only. It managed to have a spillover effect and make an impact in the community, because you'd actually have parents asking you about the gender-based violence. I heard my child saying this, I'm having this kind of a problem. How can I be held? Then you tell them about the gatekeepers, you refer them to the police, you refer them to the clinic. And I think it's one of the things that we are proud of, if I may say, because before then, there were some issues that would go unreported, but the Young for Real program managed to be an eye-opener and make people know what to say no to. And also, I also feel that it has created an edge in children to indulge in useful interaction, because up to now, you realize that they still keep the partnerships that they had when they were working together as champions. And you see that some of them, they are even teaming up in sport, they are teaming up in clubs of similar themes. And these clubs are taking off, although there is no funding in the clubs. But you see that the youths are whiling up time in useful things. They will be discussing, they will be talking about issues that they wouldn't otherwise talk of if they had not been given the training. So the community is in the peri-urban, and it has got all these problems associated with peri-urban areas. For example, we've got some illegal immigrants, and we've got different sects of people that are bundled up together and they're living together. For example, we've got the apostolic sect. We also have the Muslims. We've got the Christians and the like. And in such a mixed up environment, you realize that everybody comes with their own ethics and beliefs, some of which even give a wrong impression about SRHR. For example, the apostolic sect. We held several dialogues with this different apostolic sect, and the thrust was more like on early child marriages. We were looking at a situation whereby, according to their religion, it's fine to marry off the teenagers. You can marry them, no problem, as long as you agree. They did not even report each other, and some of them did not even see the dangers of marrying off children. So this program afforded the opportunity to engage the apostolic sects in dialogue and give them information why we were saying it's wrong for them to marry off children, why we were saying it was good for them to talk about SRHR issues. If you realize, you'd see that these are issues that are not talked about in the apostolic sect. And it took us a while for them to really accept and listen to what we wanted to deliver. And because we made use of the champions, who were also children, and they would air their sentiments in the dialogues. And because we made them understand that these dialogues were constructive and that we also wanted their input in order to curb the problem, we managed to make a breakthrough. And by the time the program was rounding off, we were actually getting invitations from different sects. They were saying, come and teach us. We want to know about these SRHR issues, and we want to know how we can handle problems that arise because of early child marriages. So the involvement of the different sects of people, religious sects and social sects of people, it was very useful in this program. We ended up having more like a holistic approach where we were saying everybody who's in Epworth is also Epworth and is part of the program. So we ended up reaching out to the apostolic sects. We ended up reaching out to the youths. We were not worried about their political affiliations, religious affiliations, or anything. No. Whenever there was a youth gathering, we would be there and we would teach them. That is why we would go if there were games to be played. I remember at one time we even went for a handball gala, and we had a rights platform there. And when there were some sports like soccer, at one time we had at Epworth Secondary, we actually held two there. We went there, and while the youth were playing games, we were engaging in dialogue with those ones that were not participating, and that was very fruitful as well. Then there is the issue of the commercial sex workers. Because of the poverty in Epworth, you realize that people do everything for money, everything and anything. And sex work is one of the most lucrative businesses in Epworth. We've got our red light district, if I may say, and it's situated near the overspill shops, and it's notoriously called the booster area simply because there is an Econet booster nearby. It's a dark area, there are no street lights there. So the sex workers and some youths who ply in that trade, they go there in the evening in the cover of darkness and they ply their trade there. And we identified that area, and because of the involvement of the different stakeholders in the community, we managed to pick out that concern, and we decided to go there and conduct an SRHR platform so that they would at least know about their sexual and reproductive health rights. So we planned for a dialogue. We went there, we had a dialogue, and we engaged them one-on-one, and we disseminated information. And also we had a road show one of these days, and we passed through that area, and we spent about 2 hours in disseminating information and also giving them time to make their own contributions about the reasons why they were in sex work and the dangers that they were getting into. And we also managed to assess and find out that some of them had taken heed to what we were teaching them, and they were shifting. Instead of being lured by high prices of dishing out unprotected sex, they were opting for protected sex. And I think since we couldn't make most of them stop, I think that's a plus. At least they were protecting themselves and they were not spreading around the HIV bug.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.